Hey, Maria, back with another video, and it's like 1:54 p.m. It is October 23rd, Tuesday afternoon, and it is a nice day outside. The sun is out there shining, looking very bright and pretty, and it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Now, in the mornings, I wear a sweater because, it's a little chilly, in the morning, so I always make sure I got my sweater on. But by the afternoon, it's nice and warm, and you don't need a sweater. You can still wear your tank tops and shorts and still be, comfortable outside right now. And then pretty soon, it's going to switch on us, and then we're going to be bundled up right to the next. So anyway, I'm sitting here working on my arts and crafts, and, I know a lot of people think, there's rumors about me being an artist. I like my crafts, and I've said this before. I'm not my hobby. Some people, they live an art life. Everything in their life is some form of expression or whatever. And I would say there's a part of my personality that's like that, but I'm not that, okay? My art is very basic. It's great for, relieving stress or whatever. And just because I like cute. I'm addicted to cute things. I like cute. Ever since I was a kid, I've always liked things that, were bright and cute and cuddly or whatever. And, I haven't outgrown that, and so I do like a lot of colorful things. And it's a way of, detaching myself. But I am not a great artist. Like, I look at some people's art and I'm blown away because they can draw well. They can also express themselves in different ways and transmit that on paper, and I'm not able to do those things. So I just enjoy art as a form of entertainment, really. And it's also, because it's nice to surround yourself with things that you make, that's kind of how I always wanted to live. I mean, if I had, a huge problem, I probably would learn how to garden. I mean, I've made failed attempts at it before, but what I mean by that is, like, be able to grow your own vegetables and stuff like that. I would love that. I have always wanted to do that. But, unfortunately, things are what they are. So, you just do certain things to kind of bring a certain feeling of, I don't know, self-sufficiency or whatever. So the only thing I can really do is I can do little arts and craft projects, So anyway, I'm going to show you some of the things I've been working on in my little spare time here. This is an older camera that I'm using, one of my burner phones that I got when I realized I was getting gang stalked, which I will tell you that I have a drawer full of burner phones, So sometimes I pull them out, and just kind of use them. This particular one, I can use the camera on it. So, and the reason why you have to have a burner phone when you're gang stalked, because you feel as though your phone number has been logged as just some sort of automated system, number one. Number two, I kept thinking, well, maybe I could try to find a job and kind of get around this. But then you start realizing that these people are just monsters and they're like everywhere. So then, you give up on the cell phone thing, whatever. Long story. So I'll probably cover that sometime in another video about the whole timeline, which I pretty much covered it anyway in all these 800 some odd videos. But for now, I'm going to veer off that subject and just talk about my little arts and crafts, because I'm trying to share, something about myself other than talking about gang stalking and these evil, wicked people that destroyed my life. So let's do something different. I highly suggest, if you're a targeted individual, that you engage into something that's very entertaining, whether that be watching movies or, but I do think picking up a hobby would be fun. And no, don't sit there and think that you're going to make a living on it, okay? But it wouldn't be, I wouldn't have any issue with my stuff selling on Etsy. I wouldn't, okay? But the thing is that I know that there are people who have art that is 10 times better than mine. And what I do is very basic stuff, so it's not like it's, something that people will rush out and buy. But it's pleasurable for me to have, and it's pleasurable for me to wear. So I would like to show you, well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and show you these coasters since I have them out. I made these a while ago for Halloween, and I made these a few years ago. These are coasters. Now, obviously, I have beat up furniture, so I'm not trying to protect the surface of my furniture. I'm more doing it because it's cute and pleasurable to look at, you know. So I make coasters. I have coasters just about for every season. These are made of felt. There's a lot of felt artists on places like, Etsy. There are felt artists on, of course, Etsy. And then there's a new one. I forgot the name of it. But obviously, everyone's familiar with Pinterest. So there's a lot of people featuring their art. And I realize my art is in no way compared to what these people have. I will say that I'm surprised that people purchase felt items. Felt items are, in my opinion, kind of flimsy. Like I made a couple couch pouches one time, cash pouches, and gave them away. And this one girl, I mean, she kept hers in good condition, but anything that you make that's felt, like you can make cash coin purses, cash pouches, and they get into your purse. They start tossing around, and the fabric of felt becomes really frayed. So I used felt mainly for things like coasters, felt for making wall hangings. Use it for. I even use it in, what do you call that? Making appliques. Okay, obviously you could use fabric, but you can also use felt if you want to have like a little fun print, like on a t-shirt or something silly like that. You can use felt, and it's not a bad thing to use for that. But things that you use every single day, you can use it and it doesn't look as good. And plus, it picks up lint balls and everything else. So anyway, that was one of my projects that I worked on. These right here are hair barrettes that I'm making. Now, what happens is I buy these, and they're usually covered with plastic. This is like a remnant of the paint that was actually being used, or the little plastic covering that it was blue at one time. It was covering the entire barrette. They fall off. They get, the heat sometimes in my room makes the plastic start peeling off these barrettes, okay, because I do keep them kind of by the window. So I end up having to just peel off the plastic, and I said, well, they're so good. I just don't want to have that plane in my head, like that metal showing. So I kept thinking, okay, I can make covers for them. So I did. I made some covers for these right here. This one I almost finished. I just have to kind of layer them. This is another hair barrette. You can change the way they look. You can use like thread, just cut out the shape of the barrette, and then you can use thread to make a design, and you can use paint. And this is all paint. And then what you do is you basically cut out two shapes of felt for the barrette. And in this case, these barrettes right here that I made just a few days ago, you just basically cut out two pieces of felt, and you slip the barrette in and then stitch it up. But you have to make the decorated top of the barrette first, and then you stitch it together. Maybe I'll do a tutorial video on it. It's really not that big of a deal, but it's just something to do, and it's a quick project. I mean, these little barrettes probably take about 10-15 minutes to make. But when I look at true artists, people who take their time, and they, a true work of art sometimes takes days to complete, weeks or whatever. This is a hobby of mine, and it is. It's just a hobby. I like to make things. I like to do those things, but it's something that's kind of personal to me. So it's not something that I would want to, make a living on. But you guys think in your minds that, and I'm talking about my perps, okay? You guys think that my art is, something that I should pursue as a career. I think that's kind of funny, but only because it's so basic. And when I compare myself to other artists, I would never be able to compete with them. And it's not about really competition. It's more about, me enjoying my little hobby. But and when it comes to things like on Etsy, I know people make a lot of felt items. They do. I've seen them. And of course, some of their designs on there are very good. I mean, they're very well made. Things that I would not be capable of doing. So, I have limitations as, somebody who enjoys my little arts and craft. But, but I think some people just they get carried away with gossip, and because I do remember expressing that I wanted to put my things on Etsy at one time. And so people think, well, she's going to do this. I don't know too many people who are making bank on like Etsy. I don't know too many people. I've heard other crafters, but you know, some people, and I have heard of some people getting lucky. I'm talking about really skilled crafters, people who make things like handbags and shoes and stuff like that, and they make them not looking like, you know, something that would appeal to like fun-hearted or young-hearted people. They make things that would probably accommodate somebody like, I don't know, like a wealthy person, you know, somebody who's got, you know, who wants to get handmade things with, you know, items being individually put on the thing, like, you know, sequins or whatever. I don't do that. But good for those people who do. And then they quit their full-time job and then they do this stuff, you know. But mine is just mostly at a hobby. And, you know, I don't mind giving my things away or whatever, but I'm just not, you know, that skilled. But it's enjoyable anyway. So I wanted to show you some of the little things that I've been doing around the house. Just making these little barrettes here. And I don't usually wear barrettes outside. I usually wear barrettes when I'm in my house. Like when I'm washing my face, I pin my hair back so my hair doesn't get wet. You know, and sometimes I sleep in barrettes or whatever, but it's not something I usually wear, except for when I'm wearing my ponytail, and then I kind of clip the sides because the sides of my hair sometimes grow out in a weird wonky way, and then I have to slip them back. So, but that's not something that you'd see every day. And most of the time when I wear barrettes, they're black in color, so they kind of blend with my hair, so you can't see it. But anything decorative, or like, you know, I wear a lot of red barrettes or yellow colored ones in my hair when I'm in my house, because it's just, I don't care because it doesn't match with anything I usually wear outside or whatever. But yeah, I think you get the picture. So anyway, you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking, of course, about my situation, and you know, I'm dealing with a lot, you know, and you know, every day I wake up, I'm like, oh shit, not this again. You know, it's like the same day over and over and over again, you know. But so, you know, today I came home and I had some lunch, and I was thinking, okay, you know, I'll go ahead and see if I can start, you know, pick myself back up again and do some little stuff around the house, because I'm trying to cheer myself up. You know, it's like I feel really, you know, like blah, like just, you know, and I know there's a lot of other people, like I said, I know there's a lot of people who are in this situation, not because they've been gang stalked necessarily, just because, you know, things are what they are. I mean, nobody's really having it great these days, but, except for those greedy people, you know, somehow they always manage to get on top, you know, but, you know, most people are really, they're struggling. I know they are. But I think once you've dealt with this kind of abuse and then you struggle and you can see why you're struggling, it's just like, damn, that's hard. It's very hard. It's hard to deal with sometimes. No, actually, it's hard to deal with all the time. That's why I'm sitting here in this funk that I'm in. But anyway, so I think I showed you. I mean, I could show you other things I've made, you know, but it's like, that's just not the day for it. I will show you, let me see what I'll show you. I will show you, I think I showed you this pot that I made a long time ago. I'm having a hard time growing this plant. I mean, it's grown. It has grown. I think I got it back in March or April. And it has grown. I think I need to move out of that pot. I'm not somebody who raises great plants. You know, I'm lucky it got that far. Okay. This is really the truth. Anyway, so I made this purse a few years ago, and I only use it like around autumn time. And I put an applique on there. And I lined it with, you know, fall colors and stuff. This was actually an old skirt that I used to wear around the house that I made. And, you know, I realized that this particular skirt was kind of, you know, just, I didn't like it, really. I just mostly like to put applique on things, everything. I was just into doing that. So I said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and use this fabric and make a handbag instead, so I can keep, like, documents and stuff like that. But, you know, I do stuff like that, but it's not something that, you know, it's just, I don't know. If in my little perfect world, people would grow their own fruit, vegetables, and, you know, they would live off the land in some weird, odd way, you know. And that's my kind of way of doing that in some strange, bizarre way. You know, it's like I like making my own things. I like having my own things. You know, if I had the ability to make my own house, I think I saw a video. Yeah, it was a video about this woman who she saved up all her money and she actually built her own house for her family. I'm like, good for her. That's really good. You know, if people had the abilities to do that, if I had the ability to do that, you know, I would, if I had the money, of course, too, because you got to find land, you got to do all that other stuff. And I'm sure there's permits and everything else. But if I had the ability to do that, I would do that. You know, because it's like, you know, it's like everything around you is yours. You know, it's your stuff. I mean, really, not just stuff you bought and you have it, but it's your stuff, you know. So I kind of think that's kind of cool in a weird way. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another one later. Bye.